Okay, I talked about why I chose natural birth, how to prepare for a natural birth, and today I will finish it up with the third part about my birth story with my baby girl and how it went. So I really believe that the more women who share about their experiences like this, the more women that will have natural births. It certainly played a role in my natural birth. I listened to a lot of stories of other women, both in person and also like this on YouTube or podcasts, and it really gave me confidence and a lot of tips of what I needed. So I really hope that this video helps somebody out there who is deciding whether they want to do a home birth or a hospital birth. But anyway, I'll just share my story and so a little bit of background information was that I got pregnant in Vietnam, and I was there for about 5 months, and then I decided to go back to the US to visit my family, and then my partner and I decided that we would meet again in South America. So we were thinking about anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. I was just going to see how it was in the States, maybe stay a little longer. I ended up being there for about 2.5 months in Chicago and then Miami, staying with a friend, until finally I flew to South America on my own because the situation in Vietnam was becoming pretty strict. That was one reason why we decided to leave, and also we wanted to be in a totally new country just so we can give the baby a really peaceful start to life without any influences on our own cultures, just somewhere totally new. That's what we wanted, was a new adventure. So we chose South America, and then I was thinking that he would get here right when I came, or at least the situation would improve a little bit after, but it got more strict and more strict and more strict, and we were thinking that he would come. He made his way all the way to Panama and then got sent back. Unfortunately, had to quarantine. So anyway, this is not only a home birth, natural birth, free birth without a midwife, but also without my partner. So I feel like if I can do it like that, you can too, especially if you have a midwife and a partner and you're living in a place, your own country, you've been living in the same house for a while. I even got here and I was moving around just every month because I kind of like to do that, and other circumstances as well. But anyway, so I was pregnant. I have other videos about plant-based pregnancy, meditation during pregnancy, how I prepared, things like that. But essentially, I got here and I knew about this country because there was a natural birth center, so I thought that I would give birth there. And I went in a couple of times for appointments, but I didn't really feel so much of a connection with the midwives, and I felt like they were a bit disorganized, and also they weren't so educated about plant-based diets, so they were actually putting more fear into me about lacking certain vitamins, and putting fear, saying that the birth wouldn't go well because I'm plant-based, which is ridiculous in my opinion. But anyway, so then I met somebody at the market, another woman who was pregnant and had 2 kids, and I started talking to her, and she said, you don't even need a midwife. And I thought she was crazy. I thought, wow, that's really dangerous. And she was telling me, we sat down, and right then and there she was telling me, oh, I did it at home, just my husband, and everything is fine, you can do it too. And so I started gaining confidence in myself to do it this way. I already knew that I was going to do it completely naturally at home. I still had fears, of course, but there are ways to get rid of these fears, and I talk about those in my other videos. So I was just going along with the process of my pregnancy until the day of the birth. The due date was the 22nd, but she came a bit before that, a few days before that, and actually that was the day that she was ready, And so due dates don't really mean a whole lot. They kind of give you a bigger picture, but they're usually not exact, especially on your first child. And so I really thought, though, that it was going to be the 22nd. I really, really, really believed, okay, it's going to be the 22nd. And so I started having these contractions a few days before, and I was living at a small house next to these friends who had their small house, so these 2 small houses next to each other. And then at that time as well, there's 2 bedrooms in my house, and then one of a mutual friend from Germany was staying there for a few days with her son, who is 3. And so I started having these contractions, and I thought, no, it can't be. This is what they call Braxton Hicks, these fake contractions that women have to prepare them. And I wrote, I don't even remember writing in my journal. I wrote to myself, okay, I really need to prepare, because I felt the fear coming when these fake contractions happened. I was like, wow, this is really going to happen soon, you know, like I only have a few more days to prepare for the real thing, so I really need to breathe through this, and if I can breathe through the fake contractions, then I can do it for the real thing. But they started getting more intense and more intense and more intense, to the point where I was making a lot of noise, screaming, and the German friend came in my room. Hey, Hannah, are you okay? She was super sweet, really gentle type of woman, and she was saying, can I do something for you? Let me make you a bath. So I said, okay, sure. So she got the bath ready. It took quite a while for the water to be hot, everything, and then she said, okay, the bath is ready. I went in there. Kept going through the contractions, but they were so intense that I felt like I cannot even sit in this bathtub. So I got out, and then I went back in my room, and I didn't tell the other friends yet, the people that were planning to help me with the birth. So the German friend came back in the room, and she said, I told her, oh, no, it's not happening, it's just the fake ones. And she had already had a baby, so I think she knew. She was kind of just saying, okay, yeah, she didn't want to tell me, no, I think this is the real thing, but she just kind of said, okay, whatever you think, it's your body, you know. And then she said, I can stay with you, like, I'll stay with you all night if you want. And I said, no, it's okay. I just wanted to be alone at that point, so I said, no, thank you, I'm okay. And then the mucus plug came out. And I had only read about that and listened to other podcasts about that, so that's the only reason I knew what it was. And so that was when I decided to go get these other friends, the couple, my friend that's a mom who has the 2 kids with her husband, and I told them, I think that, like, this is really happening. And they were like, okay, just breathe. I was really, like, excited but scared, you know, so they helped calm me down. And then I stayed in there the rest of the time. I didn't go back into my room. So I was in labor for about 5 hours by myself, from about 7 p.m. until 12. And at that time, for about a month, I was going to bed around 7 p.m. So that was when I was, like, getting ready to go to bed. I got on my bed, and then the contractions started. And so, yeah. They were still up at that point. It was like midnight, and then I was having contractions. They were helping me, massaging my back, pushing on my back, taking turns, and then my water broke, and I thought it was really obvious. I thought my friend knew, but it's really dark. Just like some candles were on, and then it was kind of hard for me to talk, and I didn't really want to talk during that whole process, but I didn't know, because she didn't acknowledge, oh, my water broke, so I said, water broke, and she said, okay, your water broke, it's midnight. She had everything just timed. So I would recommend that if you're doing a home birth. If you're just with your partner, then make sure that he has, like, a phone, he knows the timing, because you're really going to want to know when your baby's born. And yeah, I'm more of a person that I don't like to have everything planned out. I like to let it just unfold as it's supposed to, but at the same time, there are some things that you need and that you want to have prepared. And a phone or a clock is one of them, and, like, writing it down is another thing, and also someone to help massage you. So they were helping me through the contractions. They were getting pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty painful. I was screaming, but I was so exhausted, because again, that was the time I was usually going to bed, around 7, because we were living in a place without there was some electricity, but we weren't really using it that much, and it's very off-grid, like very off-grid. I've never lived like that before. I've lived in some very natural places, like in Vietnam, homestays and things like this, but always usually places with Wi-Fi, but this place was, like, next level. So anyway, I was really exhausted. It was dark, so she didn't see that my water broke, so I had to tell her. And yeah, the contractions were taking a lot of energy from me, I feel, but I didn't want to eat anything. I wasn't hungry at all. I was planning, oh, maybe I'll have a coconut, or a smoothie with dates, bananas, and coconut water during my labor, but actually I didn't consume anything. So the contractions kept going. They were painful, but I was just breathing through them, and they were very quick, so it's sharp. I mean, it depends on your body, depends on your mindset, depends on so many things. This is just my story, and this isn't even to scare anyone, of course, because it's not a scary thing. It's so natural. But yeah, you might feel pain or you might not. You might be able to overcome it. I thought I would definitely be able to overcome it. I thought I wasn't going to feel any pain because I was doing these meditations. I was eating mostly fruit. I thought, oh, this baby is just going to come out so easy. But maybe I didn't truly think that. Maybe subconsciously I didn't believe that. Again, there's a lot of factors, but for me it was quite intense. I threw up too, and I remember my friend saying there's no birth without purging the emotions, and I laughed at that. I appreciated the humor, but other than that there wasn't really any talking, and that's how I wanted it, actually. Like, some people think they want someone right there saying, like, push, do it, you can do it, these affirmations, but I just wanted to be, like, cared for and allowed to do whatever I wanted to do, to be natural. And so that's also another reason why I didn't want a midwife, is because I feel like they're trained to be like, I don't know, to say things and they might not even know you. So I feel having a friend who's a mom is better, or having, I don't know, someone in your family that's given birth, that knows you, that knows like what you want. But actually, even before that, I didn't even know that I didn't want someone to talk. I thought, oh, I want somebody there. Like, I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a few friends there and it's fine. And some people that I've met traveling who were really interested, and, oh, I want to have a kid one day. I thought, oh, maybe I should have them like come to my birth. No, at that point, I really didn't want anyone. I just wanted that one friend, just one person. So anyway, yeah, the contractions were getting more intense, but I was able to like sleep between them. So she started timing the contractions, and they were only 2 minutes apart. And so that's when you know, okay, like they're getting a lot quicker. The baby is going to come soon. Just trying to remember this all. It's been almost 3 months, because I didn't want to rush. I thought I'm not going to use any technology for 3 months after the birth. And I've been so present with her, but it's hard to not do that. And I want to share the story before I forget all these details, but I'm trying to remember now everything. Okay, I was able to sleep in between them, even though they were 2 minutes apart. I still laid down to rest, even though that felt like a lot of effort, because I had the contractions kind of on my knees. I was like, felt like I was pushing, even though I knew you're not really supposed to push. You're just supposed to breathe and let things happen. But I felt a little bit tense and a little bit, I don't want to say stressed, but like a little bit, that was an experience I've never had before. So I was like, okay, a little bit tense. And then I would sleep, I would rest on my side, and then I would feel another one come and then go through it. And honestly, they weren't really how I expected a contraction to be, or a surge, you might want to say. I thought it would feel differently, and that's why I thought, oh, she's not going to be born. I only knew that I was about to give birth 5 hours after the contractions. I was having these for 5 hours, but the time really flew by. It didn't feel like time was passing. It was just like that. Can't use words. It's just, words are limiting, Anyway, so then I felt, okay, I'm basically in their kitchen, like a big room, on the couch, and I don't want to have birth in here. I don't want my baby to be born here. I want to move, but I didn't want to move. I was like a brick, you know what I mean? Some people go for a walk when they're in labor, but that was not me. Anyway, I said, I want to move outside. I think I just said outside. So we went outside. Outside, there's a beautiful mountain view, kind of like this. I know it's kind of sunny, so I don't think it's totally clear right now, but it was kind of like this in another town over. And I said outside, and we had 2 hammocks. I went to my hammock, and I just kind of kneeled in front of it with both of my arms pulling on both sides, and every contraction I would swing my body forward and scream at the top of my lungs. And I was like, this is great that we're so off-grid because nobody is around. And that might freak some people out that there's nobody around to help, but that's how I wanted it to be, because I trusted in myself. Even though it was painful, I still knew, this is perfect. This is so perfect. And so that went on for I don't know how long, a few more hours. Well, maybe 4 hours. I had a pillow too, because I was afraid I would echo, and then people would like be worried, neighbors and local people. They'd be, who are these foreigners screaming? I always am afraid that I'm going to be one of those ignorant foreigners whenever I'm in a country like South America, Southeast Asia, but it was fine. So then my friend told me, feel up, see if you can feel anything. I felt up, I felt the head. And I said, wow, is that really the head? Because it was a bit soft. So I thought, oh no, is it like a shoulder? Is everything okay? Is she in the right position? Because I didn't go back to check at this birth center. It had been at least a month since I had a checkup. And this is called wild pregnancy, when women don't even get checkups. You might think that's irresponsible, but I think it's irresponsible if you are not following your intuition and you're following somebody else. But at the same time, if you really have like an issue, if it's a high-risk pregnancy, then of course see a professional, see a midwife. They know what they're doing, they have experience. But you also are the only one that can actually feel your body. So I felt the head, and in a way I felt a little bit scared. Is this really the head? But also I felt, okay, we're getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even really feel it coming down. And my friend said, you're almost there, you're almost there. So she was giving me affirmations. She was also telling me to expand every contraction, because I said to her, I feel like I'm pushing, I feel like I'm pushing. And she said, no, just expand, expand. She was being very gentle, barely even there, just like holding space for me, you know. But she was behind me, pushing on my back, like touching me in a gentle way. And then another contraction, I looked at the stars and I said, oh wow. I reminded myself to stay in the moment, to breathe, because I was getting ahead of myself. I was thinking, I cannot keep doing this. I wasn't ever thinking I need to take some drugs, because there was no options. I didn't think I need to get out of this pain. But I was like, this is the most intense experience I've ever had in my entire life. Like, when is this, how long is this gonna last? Like, please, 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 please. And I talked about this in my other video about the hypnobirthing meditations, but I did it in 3 languages, English, Vietnamese, and Spanish, in order for it to really get into my mind. But I felt also that was kind of a barrier, because then I started thinking in all of these languages, and it was really distracting me. So I was like, please stop thinking, stop thinking, stop thinking. I was trying so hard to stop thinking, and I was like, okay, just stop thinking, just be in the body. So I would really recommend that for people. Like, really try to get in your body. Breathe, don't be in your head so much. And then one more, I looked at the stars. I feel like I gained strength, like it pulled. This sounds so crazy. I pulled the power from the star, like this shining star, and I just kind of got that. And I was like, okay, another contraction coming. And I felt, okay, my friend said one more. And I said, just let me rest, hold on. So I rested. I said, okay, I don't want this to come, but then I also want it to come so it could be over faster, so I can meet my baby, my little baby. So I can meet my baby, the one that's been kicking for months, and hey, Mom. Okay, and then another one. Okay, and then it came, I was resting. I was like just laying in the hammock, flung over like this, with my arms in the back. And then it's coming. It's coming, it came, contraction, a surge, and then I felt I was pushing. I don't know, maybe I wasn't, but that's how I felt. And then my friend said, her head is out, and I was, thank God. That was intense. Oh, and then my friend said, the ring of fire is coming, which I was like, please, I said, please don't say that. I know everybody talks about the ring of fire, but I said, please don't say that, because that freaks me out. But that was kind of the sensation that I felt when the head came. I was like, I cannot believe that this is happening. How is my body able to do this? But also, wow, that's amazing, you know, the woman's body. Anyway, the head was out. She told me the head's out, and I was like, this is going to be a breeze from now on. The next one came, in one contraction, her whole body just slid out like nothing. I didn't even feel anything, because the head is huge, and then the body, it's like little. I was like, wow, my friend, she's out. And then my baby didn't cry, so I was like, oh my God, is everything okay? But I felt I couldn't even move. I was so shaky and tired and exhausted. And so that's why I recommend eating something, or eating enough that day. So she called out to her husband, hey, come out, help, you know. And then she caught the baby. He helped turn me around. The umbilical cord was still attached, of course. I did a Lotus Birth. I have a new video coming out probably in a week about the Lotus Birth. This video is even better than any other video I've ever done. I really am so passionate about the Lotus Birth. It's amazing. please watch it. If you watch anything, if you look at anything I ever put out, just watch the Lotus Birth one. It's coming soon. I already made it, actually, because I'm more passionate about that. Well, I'm passionate about the whole birth story, but wow. Anyway, I was turned around, I was shaking, and then they helped put the baby on me, and she basically started breastfeeding. My friend took a video, even though I didn't see it. So she was taking pictures, not during the birth, but she took pictures right when she was born, and then she took some pictures right after. I didn't even notice because I was like on another plane with my baby, like another, you don't even pay attention, you're just with the baby. Anyway, she started breastfeeding basically right away. She was all covered in white stuff. I'm not going to put the video on. It's too much for the internet. Anyway, then I was like, they were like, let's get you inside. And I was like, oh my God, can I even move? Like, she's so small and it was so fragile. Like, she's really gained a lot of weight from breastfeeding, but I was like, whoa, she's like this tiny little newborn baby. I've never held a newborn baby before. Anyway, they put me on a bed. I was laying down with her. And then the placenta came an hour later, and that was actually like a birth. It might have even been more, I don't want to say painful, but a little intense because I was laying down. That's why you should not birth at a hospital, because you're laying on your back. I birthed the placenta on my back, and that was not the most fun experience. But anyway, it came out, and then we did, I'll talk about the whole journey process with the placenta after in the next video. But the placenta came out, and then the baby was still attached. And then, yeah, we were just relaxing. Then I started drinking coconut water. I started eating fruits. I stayed like that for an entire day. I didn't really move. Yeah. And then I went back to my little house. And I was like, I remember walking over, I was shaking. And then, yeah, during the placenta, it did take a little bit longer. And I just said, please. They weren't rushing me either, and that's another thing. Like, do not go to the hospital. They're going to rush you. Get the placenta out. Get it out. Everything is so rushed. And I said, no, just let me breathe. I need to come back into my body. I was literally, like, felt like I was floating. And I just need to, like, my heart, because I had a little bit of heartburn because I threw up. So I felt, okay, I just need to, like, relax. I'm shaking. Somebody, like, press on my shoulder, something like that. So having somebody, you know, a man, your partner, like, you know, ground you. Anyway, then a day later I went back in my room with her, and we were just doing what we do, bonding. I didn't even want to go to the bathroom for a few minutes, because then she would cry too. The baby is really supposed to be by the mom, skin to skin. I had her skin to skin the whole time, sleeping on me. Even I wasn't putting her in her little outfits yet. I was just wrapping her in cloths, because really the most skin to skin, like, it's so effective, and the hormones and everything. So I was having her like that. Trying to think of what else. There's so many things, really. But anyway, we were like that for a while. And then when the placenta came off, I felt a little bit more free to move around. And 2 weeks after her birth, her dad came. And they started bonding too. My friend suggested, like, he also needs to have her skin to skin, and do not wear any cologne, any fragrance, so she can adjust to the smells. And also, like, that's really, it bothers the kids so much, and it's not good for their lungs. So having everything natural, not using any products. Yeah, and now here we are. She's almost 3 months, and I've taken her to a lot of events around here, just different things that people are doing. I take her to the market. She lets other people hold her, and she's so calm. Everybody asks why she's so calm. I talk about this in the Lotus Birth video again. And yeah, it's really everything that I wanted and more. If you have any other questions, I think I talked about everything. No, I didn't. I didn't tear, I didn't hemorrhage, I didn't eat the placenta. None of these awful things. Nothing bad happened. Everything was literally perfect. Tearing was a big fear for me, though. And then when I was pushing, I felt, oh my God, I don't want to push, but I can't stop myself, and I feel like I'm going to tear, but I didn't. So there's so many things that you can do to prevent this. Please look up these natural things that you can do. Postpartum depression, no. I was feeling ecstatic, really. I was crying in gratitude every day for at least 2 weeks. I still sometimes do. But it's a little bit more busy now, like I'm cooking now, doing laundry. When you have just birth and everyone's taking care of you, people are coming over with food, and now it's a little bit more like, okay, my body has bounced back. My stomach went back to normal literally that day, the day after. I was like, oh wow, great. Because I used to look at moms and be like, they would have, nice bodies, and I would, how do they have nice bodies? They had a kid. And I don't want to be shallow, but that's really, like, yeah, that is a concern that people have. So I was like, oh my god, I never want to have a kid. My stomach and stretch marks. I don't have stretch marks. And again, this is the diet. This is fruit, hydration. I didn't really exercise. Now I'm walking all the time. But yeah, I bounced back, and then I felt, oh, I have so much energy just a week after. But actually it was like fake, because then I started feeling quite tired. I felt I was maybe doing too much, because some people think they feel fine, and then they go back to work, or they start walking, they start doing things that are like way above what they should be doing, and I think I was doing that, and then I got really tired. But I really think after like 2 months, that's when I felt, okay, I still went out of the house, I went to the market a little bit, went here and there, but nothing like too crazy. I usually, if someone wanted to meet me, I would just tell them to come over instead of going out. And also, you want to get used to your baby's cycles and bond with your baby. That's the most important thing. So yeah, knowing like, okay, when is she hungry, you can kind of see their facial expressions and know when they want to eat. You can avoid them crying, because you know, okay, she's hungry, she's making these sounds, or she's like rooting on your chest, that means she wants to drink. You don't have to wait till she cries. So all of these things, it's so amazing that you have a routine together. But yeah, now everything is really perfect. And everybody loves her. I'm not going to put her face on the internet. Actually, I already have. I don't think it's a problem, but I would rather make videos while she's sleeping. Anyway, if you have any other questions, please let me know. Please choose home birth or birthing center. Yeah. Thank you for watching.